Number 13, BYU at number 14, Kansas. Inside, Mario, Chalmers, Fieldhouse. Chalmers for the tie, Dozier for the championship. You can watch it on ESPN. KenPom has it, Kansas -4.
Peterson, Dybantsa, it's here. These two have played each other before. Peterson got the better of Dybantsa twice at the high school level. Bill Self has made multiple indications that Peterson will play in this game. He told me last Saturday when it came out that he wasn't going to play, that he thought he'd be on track to play. And knock on wood, everything looks like he's going to be on the floor for that. And just from Dybantsa's side, I was obviously in Provo for a few days, got to talk with AJ a little bit. He wants this matchup. He's looking forward to it. He is a real film junkie, watches a ton. In fact, when I was talking to him after the win over Utah on Saturday, I think I might have mentioned this that night on the show. He was like, after he was done with me, he was getting back, watching the Kansas game, which Peterson obviously wasn't playing in, and then get ready to cash out, go to bed, and wake up and study up on Sunday for the game against Arizona, which wound up being kind of a wild one. This is the kind of game where if it really goes well and if it's really close, like, it can be one of the most memorable games of the entire season. We'll see if we can get there. BYU cannot, I want to say cannot, I mean, it has overcome it. Just, you go into that building, you can't fall behind by 12 at the under 8 of the first half. Like, they've had some issues with slow starts this season. I know that's going to be one of the biggest points of emphasis without question. They've had a good lead up here to prepare for this game. Kansas has had 6 days to prepare for it, so they've had some real time here. I wonder if Kennard Davis winds up being a key guy to watch for in this one for BYU. He went 5 of 5 on Monday against Arizona and was kind of quietly like the key guy to even getting BYU back within range, other than the officials. And I know Arizona fans were beside themselves because there were a couple of shaky calls, unquestionably. No doubt about it. Like, Arizona got out of there. It got the win narrowly. But part of the BYU was fighting, but there was a couple of, like, not so sure about that one. This is just a fabulous game. And also smack dab in the middle of the afternoon, like, top 15 matchup. I'm actually surprised this isn't in prime time, but whatever. I'll take it whenever you're going to play the game. How healthy is Peterson? How much of the game becomes about these two players versus, Kansas at home, top level defense. We've seen Trey White play well. We've seen Melvin Council take over. Is Peterson going to be near 100%? How much of it is, can he go? Is he going to be able to finish out the game, which is not a joke? Like, we've seen most of the time he hasn't been able to do that. We kind of wait and see on his just overall availability to go for it, because I just guarantee you this: Dybantsa is champing at the bit and looking forward to this matchup in a major way. And he does not even need to be the guy that leads BYU in scoring. He might, we'll see. But Rob Wright or Richie Saunders who fouled out on Monday and wasn't even available down in the final minute of that game, which would have been crucial if he was on the floor. Either one of those guys could be the guy that winds up going for 20 plus. I think Rob Wright's just got to pick his spots. Like, he can catch fire, good 3-point shooter, registers as BYU's best 3-point shooter. But I think he is at his most dangerous when he's capable of scoring on a given possession, but it's more setting up, breaking down the defense to get Dybantsa or Rob or Richie Saunders a shot. And then there's Keba Keita, whose defense has been outstanding as of late. I wonder how much of a factor he winds up being in this game, how they deploy him in what ways, because he is just a raging rim protector at times and just plays with beautiful violence. I love watching Keita play. This has the potential to be an outstanding, fantastic matchup. You said the line was 4. I'm going to try and wish this and talk this into existence. I think Kansas will win, but it will be a 1-possession ending. That gives me BYU to cover.
The game will unfold however the game unfolds, but going in, the story is clearly Peterson and Dybantsa. I think if you listen to this podcast or follow college basketball at all, you know that they are perceived to be the two leading candidates, best candidates to be, in the conversation to be the number 1 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. Cameron Boozer also a part of it, but if you care about the betting markets, I went and checked this morning. It is Peterson and Dybantsa in that order. Peterson is now minus money to be the number 1 pick in the draft. After that, it's Dybantsa. After that, it's Boozer. But based on where we're at right now in this moment, the first two names to be called in the 2026 NBA draft are expected to be on the court this weekend. Our buddy Sam Vecini had a nice piece on AJ's sort of struggles, relatively speaking, against top tier competition so far this season. Like, he's as Sam points out, he's a top 3 pick. Whatever concerns there are, they're small concerns. But it is noticeable and notable that his shooting percentages and how often he gets to all that stuff has gone down. The numbers are down against the tip top competition. So pay attention to that this weekend, as long as we're calling Kansas tip top competition. Allen Fieldhouse obviously providing an incredible stage.
I want to follow up just on that a little bit, because I did, as the game was playing out Monday, and Dybantsa in the first half, he loved, and there's a reason why he loves it. Like, he just loves the soft mid-range jumper, fade away, or if I can make my spot. But he was 6 of 24 against Arizona. What's interesting is 3 games ago, Texas Tech 84-71, a loss for BYU. Dybantsa in that game has only 13 points, and he was 6 of 17 from the field. He was even worse. That was his worst game yet. Then he drops 43 on Utah. Got to see that in person, and it was an amazing experience just to be able to take that in and be in that building. And what I thought was just going to be kind of a throwaway game, it turns into what might well be the best game of his college career. And then that's followed up against the worst shooting game. So 2 of the past 3 games have been quite literally Dybantsa's worst games sandwiched around his best game here. How does he respond to that? He's going to nod himself. I was talking with his mother after the Monday night loss real briefly, and such a sweet, wonderful woman. And she said, man, he doesn't often have a lot of bad games, but when he does, he is really hard on himself. Like, he's a big critic for his own play, which, you would expect to hear for a player of his talent and capability. Interested to see how he is deployed in this game, because in talking to Kevin Young about him last week, BYU's coach was just telling me, like, we love our roster and our setup and what we're capable of and what we can do offensively and how we build out, how we, win games and all that. But he said, there are some times where it just feels like, because of Kevin Young's experience in coaching at the NBA level, sometimes you just need to absolutely simplify it and trust that your best player is going to be able to do what he needs to do in big moments there. I'm wondering if we get that in this game, how Dybantsa gets started. It's on the road. Kansas isn't the upper echelon, to your point, GP, and what Sam wrote about. We'll try to get to Sam before the end of the show here.
Of course.
But this is if it doesn't go that way for him again, then I think we might have a little bit of a something there that we can dig a bit more into. But to no surprise, Sam's just a little bit ahead of the pack on picking up on that trend. I think he'll fare well in this one, but I'm not convinced he'll be the leading scorer. Like, if you told me that Richie shows up again and plays extremely well, and Saunders is the guy that leads BYU in scoring, I think that's possible. And I also don't think it matters who that person is in relation to how BYU gets the win. With the stuff that Kevin runs and how they do their deal, I think there's a variety of options on the table. I'm super excited for that one. This game, Dybantsa and Peterson, that's just the must-watch matchup. I think Michigan State's the game that I'm most looking forward to, because those are both national title contenders. It's a bona fide rivalry, but this is, on a weekend where we've got some solid stuff. This isn't the best weekend of the season so far, not even close. It's really tasty that we have these two matchups to look forward to, and there's still even more games to get to. What do we got for game 4?
Well, you picked BYU. I need to get on the record.
Yes,
in the spirit of the block, I need to get on the record. I'm a building truster. I'll take Kansas minus the 4.